I can go on and make it through. I can't even take my mind off loving. Oh my, can I tell you how much I love this version? Oh, I have been playing it non-stop. I love this. Everybody, please welcome today's guest, the amazing, the incomparable, the beautiful, the voice of Billboard, Miss Inaya Day. And my friend, Miss Inaya Day. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm getting through allergies again. Fun.
Oh,
You might see
great.
a tear come down my eye. You'll know what it is.
Well, the good thing is that you're getting through them.
How you doing?
Very good. I won't
Nice.
complain.
Thank you. Well, before we even start, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for having me. It's cool.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. As I was sitting down, going, well, what artist should I want to reach out to the girls that I know, and and you literally came up in my feed, and I was like, that's a sign. It's Inaya. I was like, it's Inaya. I was like, when you said I reached out, you said absolutely. I was like, let's do it. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Oops. Can you hear the music? Is it too loud for you, or are you good?
Oh, no, it's good.
It's good. All right. Well, before we even start, all of you know this song. This was originally done by Faith Evans, and it has been re-recorded with a special purpose by Inaya Day, and it's the gentleman's name, Craig Gould, right?
Greg
Greg
Gould.
Gould? Okay, Greg Gould. And, tell everybody what it's about.
So Greg Gould is he's a former contestant of Australia's Got Talent.
Nice, okay.
And he did an album called 1998.
Yep.
And he contacted me and asked me if I would do a duet with him because it's an
Amazing.
album of duets, basically.
Amazing.
So, of course, I said yes. And little did he know is that my brother co-wrote the song with Faith, Sean Jamel Crawford, and he had no idea. So I figured I got to say yes because this is totally fate.
Absolutely.
So, and it worked out because I was in Australia when he wanted to shoot the music video.
Oh,
so
yes, that's right.
we did this rushy thing on January 2nd because it was after, the New Year's Day thing and everything. So the next morning we got up and did this really, really guerrilla style video. And well, my part was guerrilla because we had to run here, get in the car, go there, and get me to the airport on time. So it was really a lot of fun. And he wanted to make sure that there was a message, and the proceeds from the album are going to go to a charity that Olivia NewtonJohn.
Is it breast cancer?
Yeah, probably so. I don't want to misquote because I don't recall the charity right off the top of my head. But the proceeds from the album will go to the charity. And Olivia Newton-John sent a message and a video message, Nice. And it's going pretty well. So we're looking forward to the release right now. We just released the video, but the single's not out yet. If you hear noises, it's the sounds of New York City going by my window.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Listen, I honestly have played that track non-stop since you put me onto it. And I was like, it is so incredibly moving. And your voice, I think I told you from the moment when I met you those years ago, what I love about your voice is that when you sing, I can hear every single note in every run that you do, and it's done with purpose. It's not just I can do a run and I can do a lick. It's just beautiful. I love your voice.
Thank you.
You forever, and I love your voice. Love it. Love it.
I appreciate it.
Well, let me see. What should I ask? I should actually read your bio. I'm sure everybody knows who you are, but I'm going to read a little bit of it so they just know how amazing you are. Inaya is considered one of the greatest of all time top dance club artists and has had numerous UK and Euro and ARIA and Billboard top 10s. Everybody knows this. I'm horny, 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 horny. We all know this. If you don't know this track, you've been under a rock, basically. Glamorous Life, Moving On Up, Keep Pushing On. Yes, and many more. And I started out singing in church as a child and then went on to do musical theater, Broadway, off Broadway. That's okay. New York, we love you. It's all good. New York is letting us know she's in the house. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
All good. Now, I want to ask you, what inspired you to start in theater? Like, you went from church just into theater, or how did it work?
Yeah. Actually, a teacher of mine named Mrs. Roberts recommended me for a show when I was a kid.
Okay.
I'm going to close these windows.
No worries.
I'm going to sweat. So
No worries.
I have all this equipment in here. I'm sitting in my studio /
Okay.
office. You know, it's pretty loud, but the equipment is pretty hot.
Okay.
But so Miss Roberts recommended me for a show.
Okay.
And I went, I auditioned, I got it. I had a feature performance, but I was, part of the chorus,
Okay.
kids with the chorus. And
Okay.
then the lead person, it was a guy, and we had gone on hiatus.
Okay.
And when we came back, the guy was, I don't remember his name, the young man wasn't there in rehearsal. And I'm like, let's pretend his name is Joey. So I go, where's Joey? And they said, oh, no, we don't have him. He won't be back. But you're going to be doing the lead. And I said, huh? And I said, but it's a boy lead, because the lead's character's name was Petey.
Okay.
So they said, we'll just say that your mother named you Petunia, and you don't think that's cool, so you'd rather be called Petey.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And then I became the lead.
Yeah.
And when you get that applause or that standing ovation, it's addictive. You go, I like this. So I was a kid. I said, I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
So I stuck with it. And then musical theater took me, of course I did New York. Not everybody's done it, but when you're in New York, that's what you're doing. And I started doing international theater. I moved to Germany and did theater over there. And then
did you move to Germany just to do theater, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was hired from here by a couple of people who are associated with Really Youthful, which is Andrew Lloyd Webber's company.
Yes.
Arlene Phillips.
Okay.
She does, or used to do, the X Factor in the UK. She was one of the judges, but she hired me.
Okay.
And asked me, she said, can you go to Germany? And I said, when? And then she said, tomorrow. And I said, no. She said, no. Because she's like, this is a chance of a lifetime. And I was like, no. So they would like call me like every other month, until like the third month they called, and they said, can you come to Germany? And I was like, yeah, I could come, but I'm gigging in Brussels. And because George Faison, director, choreographer of The Wiz, he did a show around me, and we took it to Belgium, and he actually drove me from Belgium to Germany.
Wow.
When I went to live there.
Okay.
And that's how I wound up living in Germany. And I lived there for 5 years. And while I was there, the director, the co-director, Yilmaz, who is a friend of mine now, he had a friend named Boris Lugosh. And he said, I want you to meet my friend Boris. And I was like, yeah. And he's telling Boris, I want you to meet my friend Inaya. And Boris is like, yeah. So to appease Yilmaz, we go, let's just do this session.
Okay.
So I get on a train, ride 4 hours from Dusseldorf to Hanover. And I'm just getting over the flu or whatever. And they say, we want to sing something positive, like, if you keep going and you keep moving forward, everything is going to work out, that kind of thing. We want to put something positive out. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I started singing things from the top of my head. Being in church, that's where you hear though the mountain seem too high and the valley low. It's just, and I repeat it a lot because I'm trying to think of the next thing to sing. Yeah. And Moosey was there. He was the executive producer, and he would, when he heard something he liked, he would tell me, go with that, go in that direction from the books. I was like, oh, okay. And that's how Keep Pushing came about, and that hit. And we had to do a second one that was Hold Your Head Up High. And then just on a fluke, we did Horny, and then that blew up. I was like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to be in house music, because I had no time for musical theater. I had to.
Fate found you.
Touring, so yeah, it worked out. Yep. Here I am 25 years later.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Because as a result, you had, was it 3 tracks on the charts at the same time? You performed twice on Tops of the Pops in 1 week.
Oh yeah, twice in 1 week, but it was both performances were of Nasty Girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because it was still at the
Okay.
top of the pop. So,
That's like,
and I was the only artist to perform twice in 1 week because um it would come on a Sunday.
okay.
So I did it on a Sunday. I actually flew back to America, and they called my agent and said, "We need Inaya back. We need Inaya back." They're like, "What happened?" "No, we want her to film again on Friday because we're moving to Fridays because they were about to phase out. You know, when
Oh,
you get a Friday slot,
yeah.
usually you're like, bye
Yeah.
bye."
Yeah.
So they were on their way out. So I did a Sunday and a Friday with Nasty Girl with
That's
a
awesome.
different group, well, same group of dancers, but an edited down group of dancers. It
That
was crazy.
is fire.
Yeah.
That
How
performance
cool
is
is
fire.
that?
Pure fire. Pure fire. Like, well, let me see. What else would I wanted to ask you? Um, there we go. How did it feel? Actually, no, I'm gonna rephrase that. What's been your best moment?
My best moment.
Well, 2 questions. Your best moment of your career, and also the one that, as you said, it was you started in musical theater and you loved it, and that you're like, I want to do this again, right? So you love the feeling. But what has been your best moment or best moments that you reflect on? You're like, I've arrived, I've done it, I'm here, I'm actually doing this. Like your most memorable
Um,
and best moment.
there are quite a few, but I'll
Okay,
just choose a couple that stand out because I'm lucky and blessed to have had a lot of great moments. You know what I mean?
it is a
So
blessing. It
they
indeed is a
they're
blessing.
moments, but
Yep.
they were great. Um, I opened for um, Prodigy, the lead singer of Pastor.
Oh, okay.
Remember them? I'm the fire
Yeah,
starter.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fire starter. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
opened
yeah.
for them in Australia at Rod Laver,
Nice.
which is a big arena there, like a Madison Square Garden,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I performed there to open for them. That was a high point, and
Nice.
also um, singing with Bootsy Collins. I'm part of the Bootsy
Ooh,
New
nice,
River Band,
nice.
and we toured. I mean, to as much as I love, Parliament, Funkadelic, and the Rubber Band, and to then have Bootsy say, uh, I need you to come and write with me. Had me come to the ranch, wrote some stuff. He said, write like, just write. Don't write like it's for me. And I was like, okay. So
Okay.
I wrote a couple of songs, and he's like, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Just go in the booth and I'll lay it down. I was
Wow.
like, me? You want me to do
What do
it?
you want me? You're
Because
Anaya.
I thought he was going to sing it. So I did, and he put his flavor on it later. And, the other band members put their funk to it.
Okay.
And I wound up co-writing 2 songs on the album
Nice.
and sang on 6 of them.
Which
So
album is this one that he did?
this is fresh out of P University.
Three. Okay, I know that album. Okay.
Lucy
Okay.
Collins, yeah. And
Okay.
we toured literally around the world. Like I was just gone. Yeah.
He's
Europe, Asia, and otherwise, we were
a
just
legend.
gone.
So I mean, you said let's go. You heard.
It was amazing. It was the first time and only time I'd ever been chased down. And when we get on the bus, they're pushing the bus. And, you only see that in movies or on
That's
TV. And
right.
I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And
But
I
so
wiped my
deserving.
sweat with my towel. I wiped my sweat on stage. They would go, ah, and scream for my towel. So one day I threw it out there and they started fighting over the towel. And I was like, oh, give me that towel.
I'm
Quick.
famous. I love that.
It was awesome.
That's awesome. That is a cool moment. That's
Yes.
a cool moment. Well, what was your first #1 on Billboard?
My first #1. I think it was Can't Stop Dancing.
Okay, well, when that hit,
It took
and
us
it
to
went,
moving up.
okay, and when that hit went boom, how was that?
That was amazing. The cool thing is that, you know, I'd had other songs in the
Yep.
chart reach the top 10 already.
Yep.
So when I got my first #1, I was like, what?
Okay. Yep.
So now I've got like, I think I'm on my 7th #1.
Nice.
Pretty
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's a good
That's awesome.
ride. It's a
I'm
good
trying to think
ride.
of a million questions I want to ask you. Let's see. What would be the hardest time you've been through? I mean, as women, this industry is rough, right? Um, what would you say has been your hardest, your biggest mountain to climb?
Um, I will say people, trusting people who you develop a rapport with so much that they say, oh, we're family, we're your brothers, da, 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 we're going to do this. Oh, we're killing it. We. And then the next thing you know, they've taken your royalties. Yeah. I mean, I think that happens to some extent to most young artists,
Yeah.
but thank goodness that didn't happen to me a lot. Like,
Okay.
I'm the kind of person that I instantly get it. I'm like, okay, adjust. That won't happen again. But and it's not even the fact that the royalties are mishandled. It is more so that these people that I trusted for years and worked with for years and called my brothers and, you know, went and stayed with them, met their family members.
Yeah.
And then for them to do something like that is very disheartening. I think that's the worst thing for me, because that's a wound that still hasn't healed.
Yep.
You know, especially since we're in the same industry,
Yes.
you encounter them, you know, and you try to forgive them, but then you see that not much has changed. So you have to operate with your new mind. You know what I mean?
You immediately have to have your guard up.
Yeah, it has to stay at all times.
Yeah.
So what that did was teach me that, you know, my mother used to say, you know, friendship and business don't always mix. And that was here's your experience to further reiterate that it doesn't always work. And so you know, everything now, nothing goes past me without paperwork, ever. Proper paperwork, let me put it that way.
Well, I think you got some great advice from, you're an understudy for Stephanie Mills, right? The Wiz. And she apparently imparted some advice to you. What was that?
Yeah, she told me, this is in the 90s, early 90s. She told me, don't trust anybody, even your own family. You make sure you have the paperwork. You make sure that nothing goes by without you seeing it and you signing it. You sign every check yourself. You do. And I was like, okay. And I never forgot that.
Yeah.
You know? And I've always made sure that I see everything. And I've become the master contract reader. You know, I do other people's contracts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of her advice and that situation that I had to deal with. So it fortified me. So I'm not angry about the situation. I'm just disheartened about who did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I can understand that. Yeah. I can understand that. I can absolutely understand. I've been on the same ride and had the same journey. And so you can either walk away bitter and let it consume you, or you can be like, okay, got that, learned it. All right, cool. Next. Yeah. No, I get you on that. I get you a lot. I hear you loud and clear. Now, I hear, is it Dua Lipa re-recorded one of your tracks? Was it for Adidas?
Yeah. Yes, for Adidas. Adidas contacted us and asked, you know, what we thought of. Well, here's the track. This is what we want to do. And Dua Lipa re-sang "Keep Pushing," and it's a whole other version. It's really hip hop. It's like a tech hip hop or something like that. I like to call it hip tech. There's a lot of in it and all that kind of stuff, and you can see it. It's online. Foot Locker and Adidas, and you look up Dua Lipa, "Keep Pushing," or "Original is Never Finished." That's the little slogan there, and you'll find it. And it's the long version. They have a short version, and they played it during the Grammys last year. So that was cool. Yeah, they were playing everybody's video, everybody's new stuff. And I was sitting here with my mother, and I said, Then I can show my song, Mom. Because it's almost over. And as soon as I took my phone and put it face down, I heard zzz, push that bass. I was like, "Rah, rah." And I took my phone. I was like, Mom, this is the song. This is the song. And they played the long version.
Nice.
And I took my phone and I recorded recorded it on television as if I couldn't get it on YouTube. But I was just excited.
No, you have now. I agree. Now, one of my favorite remakes are a very hard thing to do, because you're always compared to the other artists. But I can say that your version of Nasty Girl sets a new bar for that track. Like,
thanks. I love the original. I love
the original. No, don't get me wrong. I love Vanity 6. I love that track. But your version is a whole other. It's in a whole other stratosphere. It is that I play all the time, and I play your version all the time. Like, just in my car, I'm sure my neighbors are like, "Turn the, here she comes." You know what I mean? Like, it's on all the time. I love it. So I don't think a lot of people realize, at least in Canada, that you have your own band.
Yeah.
Play with, right? And what's the name?
Yeah. My band is called Dysfunction.
That's right.
We used to regularly play at Cafe Wa and stuff like that, but we're no longer residing there, but we do spotted dates. And it was there that I started singing Nasty Girl. And when big thug dudes come and go, "Yo, shorty, you should record that song, you know what I'm saying? You should record that." And I was like, yeah. And then more people would say it. And I was like, let me record this song before somebody else does it. You know what I mean? And that's how I did, why I did it. Because I kept hearing that. And I was singing it live with my band, and I was satisfied just singing it live.
Yeah.
But I brought some of the live version to my recording. But now with the band, I am in a band called 45 Riots.
Oh.
And we do all types of music. We do covers, but there's also original music. 45 Riots has now become also a record label.
Beautiful.
And yeah, it's awesome. It's a whole event situation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we travel a lot, and they keep me very, very busy. Right. So I can't complain. I love singing with them too, because the musicians are top notch.
Well, the clip that you sent me was "We Don't Need Enough." That's the band. Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Post that afterwards so people can see it. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
No, that was brilliant. Now, was it last night you posted Obama saying thanks, Inaya, for the intro?
Oh yeah. Last night there was a not college, but a high school graduate celebration, since they can walk across the stage and everything. There was a situation on TV for an hour that was dedicated to them and everything. And the address was given by former President Barack Obama, forever President Barack Obama.
Former, just.
Yes. So he gave the address, but the person who introduced him, her name, the little girl, her name is Inaya.
Okay.
And every Inaya I hear or meet is younger than I am. Oh. So I'm like, okay, they've all snatched my name.
That's a beautiful name. That's a good name.
Yeah, I had to get that. I'm like, Inaya, I'm like, sorry, I'm taking credit.
I know, I was like, did I miss something? What is she, what?
I'll count it as a foretelling of what is to come.
Again, I like that. I like that. Have you met him before?
No, I haven't.
Well,
some friends of mine have. I haven't.
That might be it. It might be coming. You never know. Let me see. What else would I ask you? I think what I've noticed about you over the years is that you have an incredible work ethic. You don't stop. You don't stop. And I mean, and you're writing to me, as far as I've seen it from my vantage, you're effortless.
Thank you.
Bam. You're like, lyric, got it. And I'm like, really? Like, what was the track we did, Lovesick?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I said, okay, you write a verse. And then I said, I'll write a verse. And you were like, sure, but bam. I'm like, okay. I had to literally catch up. I was like, okay, send it, got it. Okay. All right, I'm ready. No, that was... Do you write constantly? Is it daily? Is it like, what's your
It's It's very often. I've gotten to the point where I don't just write because some people say, "Oh, I have this song, I want to write it. It's in my head."
Yeah.
I to the point where I don't do that. I write when there's a reason to write.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
If I want to put a song out, or I do have a melody in my head that I really, really aim to release,
Okay.
then I'll do it. But I don't really. I'm a movie head, TV head, so I watch a lot of TV and movies when I'm not working, which
Okay.
thank God is rare, because music is my life. I shut it down at home. My cousins and and my friends all listen to music constantly. Oh, did you hear DJ so and so tonight? He was like, did you hear? And I go, nah, but I'm watching Ozark.
That's my sister.
You
She
know?
be like, she's my guide to what's going on out there. Otherwise, I would miss all of it. All of it. I haven't watched Ozark yet. I gotta catch that one.
Yes.
So it's TV. That's when you're off tour, when you're not doing music, it's just chilling in front of the TV.
Yep. And even back in the day when we had DVDs, when I would go to China or Malaysia and things like that, I would buy stacks of DVDs because their dollar was like 10 cents to us, something like that. $10 was $1 or something like that at that time. And I would just buy stacks of DVDs, and I had a carrier and everything, and my road manager would carry them, and we'd have stacks of seasons of things to watch. And I've always been that way. And then when I moved to started sharing an apartment in Australia with my friends Dave and Murray, this is a while ago, years ago, there was this guy who had a website where you can go on the website, then you tell him what DVDs you want, and he delivers them to you.
Oh.
Yeah. They were bootleg too. Some of them were bootleg. Yeah. And he would come and be like, here you go. And so when I got home to Australia, the boys would be like, we've got some DVDs.
So you were hooked up.
Oh, yeah. I always had movies with me, TV with me, because it's mindless entertainment. I'm not thinking of how am I going to do this to this song, or thinking of, because I'll write a song, put it to the side, and then the next thing you know, it's blowing up now. And I'm like, and I don't know the song. And my dancers have put the lyrics on like paper plates one time. I think we were in Canada.
Ah, okay.
And I was singing something that I didn't remember. And I couldn't remember the words to horny for some reason.
That's okay.
I was like, why can't I remember these words? Because I didn't write that song, right?
No, I know.
So I'm used to writing my own stuff. Yeah, usually I remember. Yeah. But it was like, why can't I remember this song? They were like, well, quick, let's write it down. And they wrote it on these paper plates that we had in the dressing room. And they put it into the choreography and would slide under my legs. And I would lean down at them and go, you got me only in the morning. And the next one I would go, I tried to go. So we made it choreography because I was like, dude, you're like, all I know is gorgeous.
You're blank. You're like, I've done that. Yes. I have the sheets like right on the front of the stage, and it looks like I'm right into it, but meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, and okay, all right, got it, okay, and I'm singing it. I'm just like, the people will come up afterwards and they're like, man, you were really into that song. I'm like,
So you think?
I'm like, I was just. Yeah.
But the big dogs have monitors. That's why they never flub. The monitors, they're scrolling their lyrics. We just can't see it. But it's at the foot of the stage, coming up like this, and they're like, that's why they're flawless. It's not because they remember so well.
I know, but I guess you sing it for years, right? And as you say, the big dogs, they've been singing that song in their sleep, so they should know it. More or less,
it could be a part of their body, but things happen. You can be under the weather. Something personal could have happened, and your mind is just not there. And something oh so well, like you'll know someone's name. It'll be your own cousin, and you go, "That's my cousin." Oh my God! And your cousin's like, "Really?" It just goes because your mind has left the building.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that backup.
Or you're just tired, or you're just super tired from touring, or when you're like, you're fried. And then you're just like, and somebody calls you for a gig, and you're like, I can't remember the words at all. At all. And people are like, but you sing the song. You're like, yeah, fried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened when I was doing, I can't think of what. It was a middle, not middle, but it was a Eastern European country. I can't remember which.
Okay.
And they asked for a song called Better Things. Now, I didn't write that either.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, could you please do Better Things, put Better Things in the set? And I was like,
you're like, no, really don't.
no. Like, I hadn't sung that since like the year it came out.
Yeah.
And it was years ago. More than 15 years ago.
You're
and
like,
I'm like, I don't know it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did a little trick, and I got the record, like the song itself,
Yeah.
and put it in my set.
Okay.
But what I did was, while it played, we got better things coming at ya, and it would go boom, 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 boom. I go, everybody put your hands in the air. And I would dance, and I go, who knows this song? Who wants to sing this song with me? I put the mic out to them. And then I would come back on, we got better things, the parts that I knew.
Yes.
And then I'd ad-lib over the rest and do riffs. And, and then, you know, in church, we have this thing called when in doubt, gospel out.
I like that. I'm gonna keep that one. I like that. I like that. When in doubt, gospel out. Or just or get them to sing. That's all. I'm like, hey. No, I hear you. I hear you. That's
do a Janet Jackson. You sing.
You say, actually, you say that, and I'm thinking, you've backed up a lot of people, like a lot of people. Like, who was your favorite?
My favorite. Hey,
Janet. Sorry, Janice Robinson, say hi. It's
I'm gonna have to say, Bootsy Collins again, because we were on stage with all those legends.
Okay.
And that was the greatest thing, to be able to sing those songs that I heard when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Like, my sister's much older than me, and she would play those songs, you know, like Bootsy, boom, 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 boom. And I got to do that. Yes. You know what I mean? With Bootsy. And with Gary Scheider, I was able to do Flashlight and One Nation Under the Groove. This guy that wrote these songs, he's standing there in the legendary diaper and the turban, and, you know, they're right there with me.
Wow.
So I'll never forget that. With all of those people, Bernie Worrell and Fred Wesley, we were all on stage together. There were at a certain point, there were 15 of us on stage. And then when the 3 New Jacks, we would go off and take little breaks, and then there would be 13 of them, and then we'd come back in and out. You know, it was dope.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing like that. I mean, they gave us earplugs every night, you know, if you want to take the earplugs, because, you know, it was loud. It was, I had never performed to such loud music.
That and it be quiet. Like, you gotta have, it's gotta be booming.
And people dressed like us and everything. I was like, how do they, and they know everyone's name. Like, how do they know my name?
Yeah.
How do they know my name? And Bootsy would go, what kind of peanut butter goes with your jelly? And they would go, Jeffy, because that's my nickname.
Yeah, I know.
My character or whatever in the show. And they would go, Jeffy, and I would go, huh? How do you know my name? They know my name. It was amazing.
Nice. That's cool. That is so cool. Wow.
And the other thing I liked, of course, singing with Queen Latifah. Everybody thought when I say I did a duet with Queen Latifah, everybody thinks, oh, I sang the hook and she rapped. But it was a ballad, a tribute to her brother who passed away, to Lance.
I remember.
And I'm singing, and so is she. I sing, she answers me.
Okay.
And it's a ballad. It's really good. It's on her Order in the Court CD, the one with the fire coming from her head.
Yep.
It's on there.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I'm definitely check that out. I saw that.
MC Light was the bomb too. MC Light is a good friend of mine, and we toured for a long time too, more than once. Yeah, and I did 3 or 4 songs with her as well. before I got into house music, I was in hip hop and R&B. I had an artist development deal with Epic Records and all that stuff. And, you know, so I was singing I sang hooks for Big Daddy Kane, for just a lot of people. What's your name? Oh, how can I forget? Moni Love. I've done Moni Love. Yeah. Slice of the Pie. That's me on that hook.
You are a force of nature, man. The next question, is there anything that you don't do?
I don't play instruments fluently. Like, I can play enough to lay down what I want or give someone the idea.
Okay.
On bass or guitar or keys.
Okay.
I'm not like, oh, Inaya, go play something. I can't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I can pick it out and say, well, this is how it goes.
Okay.
And I can hear things and pick out anything. I can play just about anything. If I take my time, listen, I can do that. That's the thing that I wish I played an instrument well.
Okay. Which one would you say you play the best?
I would say keys.
Keys. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm pretty good with the guitar.
Okay.
The former owner of Cafe Wa, Noam Dwarman, he once gave me, he's over there, gave me an acoustic guitar, a Fender. Okay. And I was like, ooh, a guitar. And I would play and I was like, I'm going to be dope. But then my fingers started hurting. And they were like, oh, you got to, you know, get calluses on the tip of your fingers. And once you get the calluses, it won't hurt anymore. I was like, I don't want no calluses.
I want, girl, I want calluses. Yeah.
So, you know, I pick it up, I play it, and I go, ouch, and then I put it down for months and months and months.
So, you got a mic. That's your instrument right there. You're good.
My weapon of choice.
That's it. Weapon is what? Weapon is. Well, let me see. What advice would you give to other vocalists coming up in the industry now? Like, what would you tell them? What, you know, everybody, I know in my talks, I usually say, you know, some people get the easy ride and they go straight to success. But most people, it's peaks and valleys. It's up and down. And it's like, there's a lot of downs before you come up, right? Because people go into music thinking, oh, I'm going to be famous. It's going to be money. I'm like, it's going to be huge. And I'm like, it's work. And I'm like, if you love it, do it. If you don't love, if you just like music, this is not for you. Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
You won't survive.
No.
Because as you said, there are many peaks and valleys. And I just sometimes shake my head and go, this business I chose. You know, it's like, and then the next, you know, we're like, all the gigs are dried up. The festivals are not bringing the so-called dance divas in. They're blowing all their budget on the DJs. Where. Yeah. But then the next minute, it's like, boom, and you get paid $6,000 for one song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like,
yes.
You know, and it's probably with any business, really. I mean, look at the stock market. It goes up and down. Yeah. So we're not any different, you know. No, but you ought to love it. And if you love it and you believe what you're doing, like I tell people whom I mentor or advise that, you know, they should make sure that if the whole thing is not your passion, but you're doing it, make sure you love what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, we will believe you. Be honest, we will believe you. If you're faking the funk and you're doing this because, well, I can make money if they said I can sing in church, so let me just start making money singing. I need a little, we're going to know. We're going to see right through you because we're not going to feel anything coming from you. It'll be like, ooh, she can do all those tricks. That's really great. And it's really nice. Wow, she's an acrobat vocally. Yes. But nothing happens here. In order to make people want to follow you or take your music with them, you have to make them feel something. That's the purpose of art. Art is to express. And when you express yourself, you want someone to receive that. You know, just express yourself into the ether. You want it to be received. And if it's well received, those people go, yeah, I feel that. Or I can't identify, but I feel that. Yes. You know what I mean? I don't know what she's singing about, but I feel that. I was in Germany and this man, a big man, was crying and he goes, Inaya, I do not know what this is. There's something inside, and when you are singing, I don't know, and it is making me, I don't know. And he just started crying. I was looking up at him like,
Amazing.
oh, you know, and
Amazing.
that's someone who didn't understand everything I said,
Yeah.
but they, I guess, received the honesty with which I conveyed what I sang, and they felt that.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody, be honest, be sincere, and love what you're doing at the time. If you singing As We Lay because you love it, because you live in that,
yeah,
be honest. And we're gonna go, that girl knows something about As We Lay. You know?
lived it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and we'll love you for it, and go, yeah, kudos. But if you're just up there,
yeah,
you're on your way.
Well, how do you feel about licks and riffs and runs? How do you feel about that? Because I see a lot of artists just doing it almost like, look what I can do. And I'm just like, okay, that is one aspect of singing, but it goes back to what you just said and what I believe as well. You got to make people feel. It's got to be real. It's got to be something that's heartfelt. And it doesn't mean that because you can do all those vocal gymnastics that you are touching people. It comes across as you just, that, for me, that's how I feel. How do you feel about it?
Well, you know, of course, you know, I riff.
Yeah, but yours are amazing.
Thank you.
With intention, like, and it's powerful. No,
and that's the key.
I tell you that every time I see you, every time you sing, I'm just like, I love your voice.
Thank you. Well, you hit it on the head, riffing with intent.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of people's riffs are displaced, like it doesn't belong there. And I call them butchers because they will butcher a song before it gets out of the gate.
Yes.
You know, establish your melody first. Pretend I've never heard the song.
That's right.
Sing the freaking melody. And then in between, if you want to put little nuances, and then at the end, but don't destroy the song. Or if it's a song that everybody knows and you feel, I want to do it differently, I'm going to do it this way. Still establish your melody and then start